Hi, it's Andrew Masters again. Today we're going to look at the story of Moses, and I'm going to try and draw the story for you. So I'm going to share it on my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see it. So here it is on your screen now. Now Moses, he was born and he was rescued from a river because he lived in a country called Egypt, and the king didn't like Moses' family or people. They were the Jewish people, and he was born in Egypt. So Moses was put in a basket, and Pharaoh, his daughter, came and she found him. And she thought, oh, a little baby. I'd like a little baby. And she took him home to the palace. But Pharaoh didn't realize what an important person Moses was going to be. And Moses grew up. And when he got big, he realized that he wasn't a prince of the Pharaoh. He was actually the son of one of the Jewish people. And he was out one day and he saw an Egyptian being unkind to one of the Jewish people. And Moses got really angry. And he got so angry that the Egyptian died. And Moses suddenly realized he'd done something terrible. He thought, I've got to escape because otherwise the king will be really angry with me. So off Moses went to another country. And in the other country, he was out looking after lots of little sheep. He was a shepherd. And while he was looking after the sheep, he saw a bush. And he thought, that's strange, because that bush is all red. It wasn't green. And God said, Moses, I want you to go and rescue my people. And Moses said, no. But in the end, Moses went. So off he went to Egypt to see the king in his palace. And the king was a new king now. And he'd heard of Moses, and there was Moses. And he actually went with his brother. And he said, God wants you to let our people go. And Pharaoh said, no, no, no. And in the end, Moses said, well, if you don't let us go, then something terrible is really going to happen. So he told the Jewish people that they were to kill a lamb, and then on their doorposts, so there's their doorposts, there's a door handle, I want you to put the blood of a lamb on the doorposts and on the top. Then when God sees the blood of the lamb, your family will be safe. Well, that night, something terrible did happen in Egypt. All the firstborn children died. And Pharaoh said, oh, go, go, go. And all the people of Israel, the Jewish people, they all left. Well, I can't draw how many there were because there were thousands of them. And they left with their sheep and they left with their carts of stuff and donkeys. They left with everything. There was so much stuff. And Pharaoh chased after them the next day, changed his mind. But God rescued them. And because God saw the blood, he passed over the houses of the people who lived in them, the Jewish people. And that's why today Jewish people still celebrate what's called the Passover, because God passed over their houses. And even today, the Jewish people celebrate the Passover. And in Jesus' time, when Jesus was here that night, the Passover night, he celebrated the Passover with his friends. And at Passover, the Jewish people remember what God did. But also it's interesting because it was at Easter. For Christians, it's at Easter time. And Christians remember what God did when Jesus came and died on the cross and rose again. So it was at the same time Jesus died on the cross and came back to life again. So I really hope you understand the story, and when you do all your questions, remember the story of what was put on the doorposts. It was the blood of a lamb. I'm going to stop sharing now, and thank you very much. Bye. Bye-bye.